Welcome to a brand new football talk show. My name is Theo Madden. I'm an upcoming sports journalist and broadcaster, and this is a show all about football, bringing you lots of news, bringing you anything you can think of, from football transfers right through to reviews and previews of games, talks about football teams, talks about even ownerships, even down to the daft things that's like, they're changing the pies in the stand at a certain stadium, down to anything like that, down to a T. And today we're going to be talking about Yorkshire football. This is a Yorkshire football one. We're going to be talking about the games this weekend in Yorkshire with a big Steel City derby. Barnsley sacking their manager Darrell Clarke, and Leeds United's return back to the top of the Championship, and 10 games to go in that one. Where to start then? I'm going to start with Barnsley, and yesterday they sacked manager Darrell Clarke. This came, in a sense, for a lot of Reds fans as no surprise. Did it come to us as a surprise, us as journalists as a surprise? In a sense, a little bit yes, because I didn't think that they'd go and do this as much. But in an hindsight, not such, because there's pros and cons to this, which we'll take a look at in a minute. Let's take a look at a statement from the club. This says, Barnsley Football Club can confirm that Darrell Clarke has been relieved of duties as men's first team head coach. Darrell Clarke was appointed in May of last year, which was May 2024. He's overseen 44 games in charge, and he leaves the club currently positioned in 10th, 8 points above the playoffs, below the playoff places. He's going to be replaced, which we'll take a look at in a minute. Now, is that a little bit cause for concern? Because you have to look. In an hindsight, there's pros and cons to this, which we're going to take a look at. In an hindsight, the pros to this is that he's been sacked at the same time, roughly, as ex-manager Michael Duff, which makes Reds fans think, Duff might come back to Oakwell now. We'd be very, very happy with that. But you take a look at the cons, he had a lot of injuries. He had players out like Fabio Jallo and Donovan Pines, who are not first team starters, but make an impact when they come off the bench. So he's got these players that are injured, that are that they're without, that are players that are making impacts, and they're having to put an 18-year-old at the back. So it's difficult. It is difficult when you've got these mounting injuries. But then again, you have to look, and as it says in his statement, he leaves the club 8 points. He leaves the club in 10th, 8 points outside of the playoffs. That's something that I don't think the club want to see. They should be punching above his weight. Should be punching above that weight, and obviously it's not worked for the club. So there is pros and cons to that. Let's take a look at who is in interim charge at the moment. It says Conor Hourihane will take charge of the men's first team until the end of the season. And will be assisted by John Stead and Martin Devaney. So no Martin Devaney this time in charge, as he did at the end of last season. Conor Hourihane has come into the Reds, obviously. He'll know the club very, very well, and he did say when he came in when Barnsley signed him in the summer, that he knows the club. He's already working on his coaching badges. He loves the place as well. And that could kind of significantly say that I'm working towards what I want next. I'm going to retire soon. He'd start working on that at Derby, and then he as well had continued to do that with a little bit with Barnsley while I was still at Derby with Martin, because he knows Martin Devaney very, very well. So that is something that he brings, that he started this journey. Is this a big step up for him? Yes, because it's his first team managerial job. But it's only until the end of the season, and maybe he might become the manager that Barnsley are going to get. Barnsley might have permanently. We'll just see how this period goes. But what he can bring in now is this experience as a player, but with the experience of being at Barnsley, because he was here a number of years ago in 2016, 2017, and in that era. And he's come back to Barnsley because he loves the club. So that is probably why he's come back to the club. and probably what he might install while he's in interim charge. That's that. Let's take a look at a few names that have been floating around. Neil Warnock was once mentioned. I don't see that happening. Liam Richards, Luke Williams. We've also got in here Conor Horahan, who is the interim charge manager so far. Des Buckingham. Michael Duff, former manager Michael Duff, to bring back to the club. He started to build something special, didn't he, when he was here last time. Ian Evatt. And one that came as a bit of a shock for me was Neil Lennon, former Celtic and Bolton manager. Do I see that one? I'm not too sure on that one. And other managers that I've seen that could come in to the club were Paul Warne. He lives local. He lives in Doncaster. And he's managed Rotherham, he's managed clubs at this level, he's managed Derby and taken them up, so that might be one. And of course, Mick McCarthy, who probably still lives local, connected to the club, Barnsley lad as well, so maybe that might be one as well. But I don't know if he'll manage many clubs again, so we'll keep you up to date with that one. Moving on then, and Leeds United went back top of the Championship last night with a 2-0 win over Millwall. And do you know what? I thought Millwall might have come and give Leeds a game, but obviously they didn't. Leeds dominated the game. They had the chances. They played well. And somebody said on Radio Leeds, it was like going back to the old Leeds, dominating for the first couple of minutes, getting an early goal, then not doing very, very much, having a few chances in the second half, being flat again, then getting that goal. And that really was, I didn't see the case as much. There was a little bit of that in there, but I really felt that Leeds dominated the game. They played very, very well against Millwall. And Millwall did have a few chances, but overall, thought Leeds was Leeds United's game. And Leeds played very, very well. And they got the 2 goals. The first goal was superb. Second goal was an absolutely fantastic goal as well. And they move on to QPR now, which in no means it's a massive test. It is a massive, massive test now for Leeds. Looking at last season, no game in this division is that easy. People know that I support Leeds, so are the nerves calm? No, I always go into the next game feeling nervy, but when I know Leeds United are winning, I kind of just relax down. But this is it's another game, and hopefully Leeds will want to right the wrongs from last season when they got absolutely battered last season there. And you look, it's 10 games to go. Leeds only won 3 of the 10 last season, so can Leeds United stick this out and actually win at the league and get promoted back to the Premier League as well? So we're going to move away from that one, and we're going to take a look at some of the games from this weekend, starting off with, of course, the big game on Sunday, which is the Steel City Derby, Sheffield Wednesday at Hillsborough against Sheffield United, a big, big game at the weekend, and it's been a great season for both sides in the Championship, and the first time these two sides have met in a number of years. And it's a big game. The first time they've met at Hillsborough in a number of years, so it's a big game. Sheffield United currently sit second in the Championship, just a couple of points off Leeds, and Sheffield Wednesday sit 11th. 11th, not far outside of the playoffs as well. A great season of Sheffield Wednesday. So how does this one panning out? Sheffield United, of course, will want to get all 3 points, won't they, out of this game? And they'll, of course, want to try and go and grab the 3 points, the old big 3 points, of course, to sustain the pressure on Leeds and to try and sustain themselves in second. But Sheffield Wednesday want to do the doing over their rivals and aim for more points and just aim to finish the season relatively well, because they've had a great season under Danny Rohal. Not much money for them to spend, but see them in 11th. He gets up there as one of the best managers this season in the Championship. He's just done so well to where you think Wednesday finished last season and avoided relegation. And that's one talking point, that he might leave the club, but who knows at the end of the season. Southampton want him still, and it's all that jazz in his relationship with Chansiri and all that. But you have to take a look. This is a big game for Sheffield Wednesday. They want the bragging rights over the Steel City, but Sheffield United just want to try and get the aim and the doing over their rivals Wednesday. So we'll see what happens on Sunday. Such a big game in the 12:30 kickoff, and surely we'll be watching that one on Sunday. Let's take a look then at the rest of some of the Yorkshire fixtures for this weekend. In the Championship, Leeds United in the dinner time kickoff against QPR in a 12:30 kickoff away at Loftus Road. All in League One, we've got Huddersfield at home to Crawley in a 3 p.m. kickoff. Barnsley, they're away at Mansfield Town. Rotherham United are at home to Exeter. In League 2, Doncaster take on Crewe. And Bradford City take on Tranmere Rovers, with Harrogate Town taking on Newport away. So some big games this weekend. That game for Bradford certainly big, with a chance for them to climb and get to top spot with the win over Tranmere, and the same for Doncaster, another chance for them to edge closer to trying to get promotion and securing the playoffs, and another chance for Leeds to go top, as we've just mentioned there, with the Steel City Derby, and then of course that game on Sunday in the Steel City Derby. So that's all in Yorkshire. I'll keep you right up to date with everything that goes on with the managerial news, the Steel City Derby this weekend. Enjoy your weekend of football, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye. See you later.